So if the women were petty and jealousy and left you alone, I would imagine that at some point, either a male pool player or somebody who was associated with the tour or just a fan took their shot. Said, you know what? I'm going to ask out Jeanette Lee. I would imagine that happened more than once. Can you remember one or two examples where maybe that of a guy who shot their shot was kind of funny? And how did you end up ultimately figuring out a way to deflect those advances?
A lot of people don't believe this, but well, early on the tour, I fell for a player, men's player called Bobby Hunter,
Hmm.
and but I can say all the way until him and after him, and actually even after I my divorce from my husband 9 years ago, we were married for 20 years, and all of that time I never got asked out. And people
What?
always assumed that I had so many people asking me out. And I didn't know what was wrong with me that no one asked me out. But no one and until and then actually after until 9 years ago when we got divorced,
Hmm.
from that point till last year, so 9 years of being divorced, I never got asked out by a single man. I ended up dating one man named Gene Allen, who was a friend of mine, and we had been friends for several years. And then at some point, I thought, okay, I'm ready to date. No one's asking me out. So I started downloading these dating apps because no one, not, I swear, not one person has asked me out. So I mentioned it to my friend, who then, I guess, knowing that I'm now looking to date, it was
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 years after we got divorced, maybe five. And he said, well, I'm your man. And I'm like, no, I appreciate it. And I
Wow.
thought he was an incredible person, but I just was not feeling it with him. But he convinced me after a long period of time to give him a chance. And to be honest, with no one asking me out, it got lonely. So I was like, okay. And so we dated for a few years, um, and then I broke it up with him for several reasons. And then I've gone another few years during my cancer bout.
Mm.
And just this last year, one man asked me out, but he was not someone I would date. So I said no to him. But that's it. In all these years, I had one guy ask me out.
I am
Isn't
assuming
that
then this,
crazy?
yes, and
I'm not that bad.
I didn't ask that question. I thought I was going to get funny stories and anecdotes of guys handing you notes during a pool play. That's what I
I'm
thought I
so
was going to
sorry.
get. Well, no, it's a good anecdote. It's the only thing I can think of is that you probably intimidated the hell out of everybody that
That's
you
what
would
they
have.
say.